Queen's Lead podcast. I'm your host, Amy Singleton, and as a child of the 80s, I'd love to say Queens rule, but they don't. Queens lead. Being a queen means you are worthy to be a leader of people. The guests on our show do exactly that. They are leading the way in their businesses, families, and communities. They're taking their rightful place in the spotlight, leading and inspiring the developing queens in all of us. Welcome to the Queen's Lead podcast. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Queen's Lead podcast. Today, we are very excited to be joined by Stacey Hall, the Go For Yes gal. Welcome, Stacey.
Thank you for inviting me into your studio. I'm thrilled to be here.
We're so happy to have you coming from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yes.
Is that where you're from originally?
Oh, no.
All right. Well, let's talk about how you got there.
Anything wrong with it? But no, I have lived a lot of places before we settled here, but we have been here for 18 years. So it kind of counts like we've been here a long time now.
Yeah. Okay. So you're kind of like from Vegas now. Can you officially say you're from Vegas?
I'm saying I'm from Vegas. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I do.
Some people are like, if you weren't born here, you can't say you're from here. So
no, I'm pretty sure I can after 18 years.
I even think so. Good. I think you're pretty good. So what's the story that led you to Vegas?
Well, the bottom line was my dad passed away here. My mom needed some help. So that's how we wound up here and thought it would only be for a couple of years and literally fell in love with it. We live right at the base of the mountains in the north. And nice. It's just a very, very livable place. And when you want a little bit of fantasy, it's right down the road.
Yeah, you just take a quick drive down the road. And then so you're far away from the nuts, crazy stuff going on that you can actually enjoy the mountains and the beauty there, I guess.
Yeah, lots of wonderful hiking. Actually, there are seasons if you want. I mean, that's one of the secrets that the Chamber of Commerce doesn't like people to know. We've actually been dealing with either a very mild winter or a very cold spring for about 5 months, which is why I sound like this, because it's just starting to get warm. So everything is hypered this year. But yeah, we've got seasons and it's very comfortable. And if you like to be outdoors, this is a great place to be.
All right. Well, nice. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Just who is Stacey and what kind of led you to the path you're on now?
Oh, well,
That's a loaded question.
No, I've just like most people, there's been the circuitous route, if you will. But where I'm at right now is very much a direct, like you would think there had been a direct line to it through my years. So I grew up the child of a salesperson. My father was in sales, and he was good at it. And then he wasn't good at it, then he was good at it, then he wasn't good at it. And what was the difference is it was the bosses that he had for a great extent, bosses who allowed him to do well, to be himself. He flourished. But when he had bosses that were using the old school sales training, go for the no, business is war, you can't let the customer get the upper hand, all that stuff.
You're going to eat what you kill, man.
Yeah, that's right. Put on your armor, arm yourself with that script.
That's right.
That's right. Doesn't matter what they say. Anything that comes out of their mouth is going to be an objection. So don't listen to it. You just say this. Just say this.
Yeah. That was the way.
And still is in a lot of places, believe it or not. It's even though people say they don't like it, even though the number one word associated with salespeople is pushy, it's still taught, which is why I show up and do. And it still
works for so many people. How is this working? And who is it working on? It couldn't possibly work.
Okay. So anyway, so long story short, I watched that and I grew up with it and I said, hell no. Yeah. And along through business, that's how I wound up where I am now, teaching people first. Because my biggest thing that drives me crazy, Amy, is when people say you have to get out of your comfort zone to be successful. And they say it more so in sales. So like you said, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And I'm going to tell you a funny story of what just happened to me this morning. But this person was doing something, and I'm sure it's because someone told her, get out of your comfort zone and just go do it. Mm-hmm. And when we do that, we have no clue what we're doing, right? Like you said, we can be, I won't go all the way into
Please be yourself. Be
Yeah.
yourself.
So this literally happened on Facebook. And this happens all the time, but going to this degree was just, to me, hilarious. People send friend requests. They don't go to your page and leave a comment. They don't send a private message, right? They just send the friend request. You're like, so why? So, because I'm just another notch in your belt, because you want me to now go to your page and you've got a promotion there. So I don't play the game. I respond back and I say, I received a friend request from your account since I didn't get a private message and you haven't commented on anything I've shared. Could you tell me why you sent it? Otherwise, your account might have been hacked and you probably want to know.
Ah.
I mean, it does happen, right? So I just figure I don't have to be a complete bitch. I can kind of offer that to them.
Yeah.
So this person writes back and says, so are you in a vendor event? You know, these online vendor events.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote back and I said, I'm in a couple. Did you send the friend request? Like, that's the question on the table.
Why are you knocking on my door?
Yeah. And without saying that, it's just, was it you who sent that? Because I've just said to you, you could have been hacked. Then she writes back and says, so which groups are you in? I said, are you asking me to tell you where you found me? And she says, yes, because I joined a bunch of groups and sent friend requests to people. And why? Like, so to me, that is somebody who was told, go send friend requests, but she has no clue what she's doing. She doesn't obviously know what a friend request is supposed to be. And she's out of her comfort zone versus like would you go up to somebody in a store that you had no idea who they were and just go, hi, hi, right? I don't
Well,
mean to
actually,
be
I
silly.
might, but
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. You would do it because you would stick around and then have a conversation, Amy.
yeah.
No, I'm talking just, okay, who are you? What are you about? So anyways, I may be going too far afield, but my point is, in sales, especially, we have to stay in the zone where our values are, where our skills are, where our strengths are. And we meet people based upon a commonality of some sort. Not just that they've got a target on their head, they're a living, breathing human being who might want to buy your products or your services. So, anyways, I've watched this all my life. I'm not a teenager, and I'm tired of it going like this. I'm tired of being people taught to do these horrible, spammy activities.
Yeah. Okay. I can totally appreciate that. So what types of jobs have you always been an entrepreneur? Or what types of jobs led you up to this place?
No, I have not always been an entrepreneur. I actually did the thing. I went to college. I got a degree in public relations, advertising, marketing, and sales, and PR. And I went out and became an advertising account executive. So my role there was to put together marketing strategies for our clients and kind of be the go-between between the client and the creative department.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it. I did it for 5 years, and then I had the opportunity to move up in the world, and I became manager of marketing for Budget Rent-A-Car Corporation for the United States and Canada. And it was at a time when Budget was trying to move off of the airports, keep their airport locations, but compete with Enterprise. Enterprise was just coming on. And so these franchise owners knew nothing about true marketing. Like they were all millionaires, billionaires probably, who had bought franchises for a counter at the airport. Now Budget wanted to teach them how to operate where there was actual competition. And so that was my job, to put together marketing strategies for them. And Federal Express heard about me and they hired me away. And I did those kinds of marketing strategies in the local markets for Federal Express. And then you're going to wonder, well, then how did I become an entrepreneur? Well,
there's a story there.
no,
It's
a very
usually a
short
nice,
one.
juicy one.
No, well, no, I loved Federal Express, but you know, sometimes you feel like something, you know, and I was much younger and I had opinions and you know, it's a very big company and they wanted to go in a particular direction and I didn't want to go in that direction. So I actually decided to completely shift industry and went to support a university
Oh, wow.
with their membership and marketing. And while I was there, I had the opportunity to volunteer for the Small Business Development Center.
Okay.
And I taught classes.
Yeah.
And I looked at these big binders that they gave me of what I was supposed to be teaching hair salons and insurance agents and real estate, because there wasn't a whole lot of network marketing back then. And I'm like, yeah, this is what Coca-Cola would do.
Right. This is not what your local real estate agent needs to do, right? Or can afford to do.
Not at all. And maybe this is the reason why 80% of new entrepreneurial businesses fail in the first 5 years, because they think they have to do all this.
Yeah.
So thus became my coaching business, where I said,
Nice.
You guys don't need to be here. You
Yeah.
need to be learning how to do what's in your budget, in your schedule, how to
Yes.
get back in alignment with yourself and not try to
Yes.
be some major corporation before you've learned how to actually make some money. So
Yeah.
that's it. And I've never looked back since.
And what year was that? Or when was that? In the
Oh, now you're making me be really old here. So
Ah.
we're talking right around 1999, 2000. So I've been at this for a while.
Okay. Yeah. And so, yeah, I love that you say that, because I do a lot of networking, right? A lot of in-person networking. And obviously I'm also in marketing. And so hearing the ideas of some of these people who have zero budget to do it, they're like, we're going to blanket the state with billboards. Why? That is not a good time. Wait, that's not a good spend of your time or money. I promise you, not early on, unless you're, like you said, Coca-Cola, they're doing that. You don't, that is not for you.
Well, even you know, on social media, you know, Gary Vaynerchuk, of course, both Gary V, talks about
Our Lord
being
and Savior.
everywhere. Say again?
Our Lord and Savior. Sorry.
Yeah, but he talks about being everywhere. Well, it's fine if you're Gary V and you've got a budget to hire a VA for TikTok and a VA for Instagram and a VA for LinkedIn and, you know, and a VA to create your content. Yes. If you're just starting out, where are you going to get that money to be everywhere? No, you pick a lane, you own the lane, you make money, then you maybe hire a VA to help you extend out.
That's it. So you've written 5 books on the subject in the last 23 years.
Related,
or
yes.
so. Or so. And the latest is there, Selling from Your Comfort Zone.
Selling from Your Comfort Zone. Yep.
Yeah. So tell us a little about that.
Well, it's in it. I introduced the concept of the alignment marketing formula. And alignment marketing formula I call the new ABCs of sales. The old ABCs was always be closing.
We all know it, right?
Yeah. This is alignment plus belief times consistency will always equal sales, satisfaction, and success. So when we're in alignment in ourself, like if we say, I'm going to stay in my comfort zone and I'm going to expand it, not be lazy, expand it. These are my skills. These are my strengths. This is why I went into business in the first place. This is who I want to serve. This is how I want to serve them. This is how I can serve them. When I put myself in positions where I can meet those people, and I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about what I have to help them in the way they want to be helped. I'm in alignment, right? That feels aligned.
Mm-hmm.
With that alignment, I now believe in what I'm doing. And that's where so many entrepreneurs fall apart, is the minute I was talking to a client this morning. She's still having trouble believing in herself because she still has a whole lot of mumbo jumbo in her head from years ago.
Yeah.
She's forgetting to get back into alignment. When you get practice, please excuse me here.
Of course.
when you practice staying back in your alignment more and more and more, the belief gets stronger and stronger. When we believe in ourselves and what we're doing, we do it consistently. We don't get stopped. In consistent action with the right people in the right way will always build steam, which leads to sales satisfaction and success.
Okay. I like it. That's a great concept and a wonderful new way to look at it as well.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I teach how to do it. That's what the book is like. It's a fun manual, but it's a manual. It's not just theory. It's do this, then do this, then do this, then do this. And the do this is exercises. So I'm not asking anybody to be me. I'm just sharing with you how you can find out who you are and who you can be in the sales world.
Mm-hmm. And to be, you don't want to be like everyone else. And whenever you're trying to be coached to be a salesperson, I mean, that's not teaching you to be more of yourself. It's trying to teach you to be someone else. So I can see what you mean by comfort zone. Can you expand on that a little bit more? Because I love that you said not being lazy, but staying where, and maybe for me, the word comfort, it could be changed for me. Like, stay in your genius. You don't have to go and be loud. If you're not loud naturally, don't be loud. It's going to make you seem fake and forced, right? But it's less about being comfortable, maybe, and more about being yourself. Is there something there?
Yeah, yes. And it's just still, it's very funny. Please forgive me, Amy. I'm not laughing at you. And yet people, because for so long it's been drained, I don't know what the word is, but it's been consistently told that comfort is the wrong thing to be in business.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you another word. Power. Our comfort zone is our power zone. So if you're an introvert, you feel more powerful being an introvert than you do being an extrovert, right?
Yeah, right. Got you.
So that's all I said. The power is where we feel in our gut, that things are right for us, that we know what to do and we can do it. That's what I'm saying. And that gives us a measure of comfort and a measure of confidence as well.
Yeah, I love that.
So there is nothing wrong with comfort. If you associate it with alignment, if you associate it with confidence, if you associate it with power, then it's acceptable. I want to really end this idea, get out of your comfort zone, because when you get out of it, anybody, and I've done tons of studies on this. If I say to somebody, all right, you're out of your comfort zone now, where are you? Yeah, in fear. Okay, right. You're in fear because you don't know what to do. Is fear a powerful place from which to act? Most people would say no. Most people would say they're frozen in fear. And I say most because there are some adventure takers who say they thrive on fear. Great. That's your comfort zone. You're not out of your comfort zone. If you love fear, you're not out of your comfort zone. You're still in it.
Got it. Yeah.
You see, like we just really, I feel it would be important to shift that whole approach to comfort.
Yeah. Okay. So what does that look like for someone who is just exceptionally shy and uses fewer words maybe, or just has a non-sales type personality?
All right. So the first thing I would ask the person is, if you're shy, why do you want to be in sales in the first place? Because 55%, they've done studies, 55%, this is a recent study, of people in sales should not be there. They're not suited for it. They don't understand it. It's not a match. Somebody told them they should do it. It's not a match for them. So if somebody was very shy and said they have difficulty selling, the first thing I would ask is, why did you choose to go into sales? Because sales is a very social business. If they said, because I believe in this product, or the service, and I really believe that it helps people, I would say, great. Where would you normally go to get information? And a shy person will normally not reach out to another human being. They'll go online, right? They might Google it. They might go to YouTube. They might watch TikTok videos. My answer to them is then that's where you want to be, because your perfect ideal audience is going to be as introverted as you are. So if you don't want to create your own videos, then write blogs. Can you write? Can you hire somebody to write them for you? And then they go out onto Google, right? You build an audience of people, and there's various ways to be able to do that without having to go Facebook Live or a YouTube video if you don't want to, because reels can be created from written information now too, right? You add beautiful graphics, beautiful music, and it's just the writing. You can still have a reel. So you may not be the person to do all of it. You may have to hire a VA to help, but there's still a way to get your information out there if you're that committed to it.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, unless you're buying ads, you are at some point going to have to talk to a human being.
Right. Yeah.
But what I found with most introverts is if somebody approaches them, they're fine. If somebody comes to them first. So great, let your content go out there, make offers for people to ask for information, and build your business that way. It might go a little bit slower, but maybe not. And I'm going to share with you, if it's okay. I wasn't planning on talking about this, but you asked, so I'm going to put it out there.
Yeah.
There is the most amazing tool for introverts that turns their Facebook into a wonderland. It's software, and you write the information. You tell the software where you want it to send messages. So you go into a group, let's say, of people. So let's say you've got an introverted businesswoman who wants to sell a skincare product because she believes it and loves it. But she doesn't want to write posts, and she personally feels uncomfortable communicating at the start until somebody is interested. So this software, she would write a message. She would choose the group. The software goes to the group because it's an extension of Facebook, sends the messages out for her. Then when somebody responds, she knows they already want to talk to her or him. And now she can start the conversation from there. Isn't that cool?
Interesting.
And if she doesn't know what to write, it's got AI built into it. So you just say, could you write me a message? And the AI will do it. I just love how technology helps folks who need a little extra help.
Yeah, I can see that. Nice. Okay, so would you say that a lot of the problems that people have in sales really just comes back down to their ability to effectively communicate with other people?
That's interesting the way you put that. I'm going to think about it for a minute, because it is definitely about effective communication, but what's underneath that, I would say, is more putting the emphasis on myself than on my prospect. So if I'm thinking about my prospect's needs, so for example, I would love to know how you started the podcast. And if we had more time at the beginning, before we got on, I would have asked you that. I'm going to ask you that afterwards. Is like, if here you're asking me about me, and in a normal situation, if you were my prospect, I'd be asking more questions about you and why, what your world is about, where your struggles are. And I'd be doing that to determine, is there any way I could be of help? And if I feel like there is, I would then ask you, would it be okay for me to share with you that I might have a solution for that?
Yeah.
See, that's an effective way of communicating to find out if somebody would be interested after I've already determined that maybe I could help.
Yeah. Getting their permission.
Exactly. Versus I can be the best communicator in the world, meaning effective, I'm well command of the language. But if everything I'm talking about is about me, while I've got a prospect in front of me, you're going to want my coaching services because I can do this for you. And all of that. Yeah. And the person's, I hope she'll shut up soon so I can say I'm not interested.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I think many people fall into the trap of talking about themselves and their solution before they ever really hear the problem. Yes. Or where the person in front of them is struggling.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So that's, I love that you use the word effective. Effective is, it changes depending upon what's the purpose of the conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, definitely. So tell us about your coaching program and who you serve.
Well, now I'm allowed to ask. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Well, my ideal audience, I say, is primarily a woman who's an entrepreneur who has been mostly pushing products or courses without realizing, even if they're selling courses or coaching, not realizing that what they really have that's more valuable is their wisdom.
Yeah.
Even if they put it into a course, before they put it into a course, there's wisdom there. And so I love to help people monetize the message in a variety of ways rather than seeing themselves as selling anything. They can get paid for the wisdom, their message, their information. And you, Amy, would say to me, but that's selling. Of course it is. But it's interesting that so many women entrepreneurs give that part away in order to get a sale of a product or a course. Mm-hmm. So they're leaving so much money on the table, they don't even realize it.
Well, that's interesting. I'd like to hear more about that because my personal, I hate to call it a strategy because it's really just the way that I am. I'm a giver. I am regularly accused of giving away the farm, giving away my knowledge, teaching classes at the chambers of commerce or at networking events or to women business groups or things like that. I regularly give away knowledge and wisdom about things that maybe we don't even have a product match for, but I see a need for it. So I willingly share that with people.
If that brings you joy, I would never change it. Okay. Like if that's your passion and your joy, you probably are leaving money on the table that people would pay to receive. Mm-hmm. Lead magnet. So let's say you are doing a Chamber of Commerce presentation. You're doing it to give back to the community. Great. I call that a lead magnet, so to speak.
Yeah.
When we do that, though, it's important to let people know that we have something for sale. Yes, I did this. Yes, you got a gift. I'm doing a podcast right now. I'm giving tips and all sorts of things. This is a lead magnet for me.
Yeah.
And you're going to, I know you've already know what my courses and things are, and you're going to share my website with folks at the end. That's what I'm talking about, is if we're going to do it as a gift to the world, at least let them know at the end what else you have. And that's what doesn't happen enough. Women entrepreneurs will often go like this. Well, I gave them so much for free. I would have thought they would have asked me. Why would they ask you if it's not being offered?
Honey. Yeah, they don't know what to do. People, I cannot say this enough to clients and prospects and people I meet. People don't know what to do unless we tell them what to do. They have no idea. They don't know our business like we know our business. They don't know we have a solution for this problem they're experiencing unless we tell them we have a solution for them, right?
That's right. And then they'll say to me, but I do. I tell them and then they don't want it. Well, probably because you gave them too much and it was more up here than it was in here. Mm-hmm. When people go away and say, I have to think about it, I'm not sure. It's because we were too heady. with them, too logical.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we
Definitely.
were more in a convincing, trying to get so much information to convince.
Yeah.
And if it comes across like that into a point of desperation, people are going to run the other way.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the other thing. We give too much, trying to prove we deserve to be paid for more. And people are like, yeah, it's too much. It was a fire hose. No, thank you. And
Yeah.
you didn't really speak to my heart. That's the
That's
other
it.
thing.
Yeah.
You
It's the
didn't speak to my
connection.
heart.
It's the connection piece. I find that I think that comes back to the confidence in the sales or whatever you want to call that process, that connection process, is that at least for me early on, my confidence was so low that what I was confident in was my knowledge of product, right? I know SEO, I know Facebook
Yes.
ads, I know Google ads, I know websites and logos and branding and marketing. So I jump right to the content piece, right? Because I want to give as much value as I can.
Yeah.
But previously I was skipping that connection piece, that rapport building, which really is just, I mean, it has nothing to do with the sale, right? It could be a story from my childhood, but we can tie it back to the need that we're currently teaching about. And then we have them, right? We have their attention, we have their trust. They go, oh, she sees me, she knows what I'm dealing with. And then that's that lean in moment that then they can
Yes.
accept that content that you're giving them and the real value that you're struggling to get to so quickly because your confidence is so low. Does that make sense?
Beautifully said. Perfectly, beautifully said.
Yeah. It's just, it's a lack of confidence.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
it is.
Yeah.
Pretending to be confident.
Yeah. Yeah. So how much of that goes into how much confidence building I mean, you can be a shy person or be, not made for sales, but still develop a level of confidence in yourself, right?
Well, yes. And again, that's back to the comfort zone and the questions I ask in the book to be able to get there. But what you said that was just so spot on is a story that has people understand that we understand them is far more valuable than the list of things I can do for you or the list of things this product will do for you. Right? So that's what gives confidence, but it's usually the very thing people, especially women, will not share. It feels vulnerable. It feels intimate. We've been told not to share that stuff. It makes us, it's not safe. And I always say, well, there's a big difference between too much information and just enough information for someone to see that you're relatable and not a robot.
Yeah. Yeah. People have to know we're human. We're human. Our clients are human. People running businesses are human. Here's a big shocker. Celebrities, they're human.
They're
just
human.
like you, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's not on their press tours, but every other time. Well, that's it. I mean, I could have canceled on you today because of this. Like, so I'm not looking the person, but I bet you I'm not the only person who deals with allergies. So
exactly.
There you go.
It's allergy season. We're all suffering.
It just
exactly.
Does. And
yes, we're humans over here on the Queen's Lead podcast. Okay, people, only people.
Yes, that's exactly it. And I've got all the stuff to make it right, but when I start getting excited, my sinuses go. So I need to be a little calmer.
There is no calm. There is zero chill in me, in case you can't tell.
Well, I'm having a lot of fun. I can say that.
Well, good. So tell us some about that, going back to that manual, that big thing that you saw young business owners, entrepreneurs trying to accomplish. What were the big pieces that you now teach them? Like, here's what you really need to get started. And I know that varies from industry to industry, but what does someone really need?
No, the foundation always.
Yeah.
So what they were teaching was how to get business loans. A realtor doesn't need a business loan. Okay. Like, why am I teaching that? What a realtor needs is to identify what makes them unique from every other realtor in the same town, right? Like that's a challenge. Or an insurance agent from every other, but especially a realtor. or especially a stylist, right? Or a makeup artist. So, and the reason I'm bringing these up is because when they tell people what they do, usually they'll say, I'm a realtor.
Yeah.
I'm in insurance.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a makeup artist. Right?
Yeah.
And yes, you learned how to do those things. That's true. That's your industry, but that's not who you are. So why are you a realtor? That getting to that place, there had to be a reason. And I bring this up because my husband's a realtor, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And we have this conversation a lot. And he's not a touchy-feely kind of guy, but he knows exactly what he loves about real estate and what he wants his clients to be able to expect from him. And that's how he speaks about himself. Okay, so why did you get into real estate? What kinds of people do you enjoy working with the most? And don't say anybody who can buy a house. No, no, you don't. Like, as if I describe somebody to you, you're going to tell me, no, I don't want to work with them. Great. So if you don't want to work with them, who do you want to work with? And then craft a message around that is, I love helping new families have a home they can grow into. You know, find the home they can grow in. There's a way to speak it like a story.
Right.
That has somebody who just had a baby. They're thinking about getting out of the small condo they've been into and a house. It's like, she understands me or he understands me. That's the real, it didn't just say, I'm a realtor. You know, you know, I know, you know what I'm talking about.
I definitely know that. Yeah. In fact, I'm sure you're aware, if you know who Gary Vee is, I'm sure you know who Donald Miller is.
Sure.
Do you know Donald Miller? So at Height, we're the largest story brand certified agency, certified in telling that story. But what I find most business owners miss is that they're telling their story. They're not telling their client's story. They're like, listen, if I had to talk to one more roofer, plumber, home services business that wants to tell me the story about how their business got started in 1904 with their grandfather and 2 pieces of string in it, nobody cares. Nobody cares. There's a place for that later on in the relationship. But if you're not telling your client's story and how you're going to fix the problem that's in their life and how you're going to help them survive and thrive, it's going to fall on deaf ears every single time.
Absolutely. Unless you have enough advertising out there, right, to tell it over and over again. But I'm just, you brought that up, and you was thinking of roofer. There's a garage door, and I think of it, and I actually like the commercial. I mean, it is the owner of it, and he talks about the garage door is the smile of your house.
Yeah,
I've never heard that said before, and so even though he's sort of talking about himself, he always makes me think. And we had to replace our garage door, and it's still white, and I want it to be a color, and my husband likes it white because he likes it, you know, the big white smile, so to speak.
Yeah.
But even that is more unique than any other garage door fixer up or whatever it is, manufacturer who's advertising. So
because he's speaking to the ideal client, right? I don't want some ugly, busted looking garage door. I want my garage door in my home to look better than my neighbors, to have a beautiful smile. And that is keeping up with the Joneses. It's solving a problem. It's solving my ugly house problem. It's solving my want to look better than the neighbors problem. It's solving the best looking house in the neighborhood problem. That's a problem solver. And I have no doubt they're successful. Yeah.
Now he also could have appealed to me through the fact that we got locked out of our garage. We got locked out of our house because we always go in and out through the garage, and the garage broke. So I would have been even more interested if there was a story of commercial showing me the story of a family locked, because people were literally locked out in the rain in the middle of winter here. So it was like 30 degrees, you know, just almost cold enough to snow, and the garage door broke that morning, right? And we didn't bring a key with us because we always go in and out of the other. So there we are calling you know, that could have been a story. How many times have people done what we did and got locked out of their garage door? Tell me that
Never get
story.
locked out again.
That's right. As opposed to, we've got this fine construction. Well,
Right.
okay,
Yeah.
I'll worry about that later. Just get me
Yeah.
back in my house, right?
What materials you use, we don't know. We don't care. That's not our specialty. We don't know if it's fiberglass or wood, or we don't know. Doesn't matter to
Yeah.
us. Are we going to get locked out? Does it look good? That's what we
What
need to know.
happens
Can I
if I
get
do?
in?
God forbid anything happens. Will you be there in 2 minutes to help me? Yes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. We have to tell the right story to the right people in the right way.
Yes, exactly. And the story is the story. It is a story.
Mm-hmm.
Stories have imagery to them.
Right. Yeah.
That's what helps us remember. And I'm preaching to the choir here, but that's when I always say, when you come up with a brand line, that's why I love the realtor line. I love helping new families find their forever home, or the home that's going to grow, their kids are going to grow up in.
Yeah.
Like, you can see it, a new family, you can see, couple, baby in your mind, find their home. So they're out looking, and it's the home their kids are going to grow up in. And it's just immediately gives you a story. That realtor is going to stay in someone's mind.
Yeah. We make families in these kitchens, make memories in these homes.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that gets people dreaming about their home, about their family, about what's most important to them. Survival, thriving, growth. That's what really matters to people.
That's completely. And even so in skincare, in the book, I tell the story. Do we still have time?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I decided to play with this concept. So I went to Instagram, found I won't say who the company was, doesn't matter. But somebody was promoting a 3-product package for skincare. Okay. And just what you said, it was all about the ingredients. Like, who cares? And the bottles, right? The bottles are there. And what the skin, it doesn't tell you what it does. It told you what they are, right? So cleanser, moisturizer, toner, whatever it was. That's nice. I know what that is.
That's
Next,
nice.
right?
Yeah. How about erasing the lines life leaves on your face? That would sell me, because I'm 40, I'm almost 42. What problem are you solving? I don't know about your ingredients. I don't care. What is it going to do about this?
I'm going to say, and this is not buttering you up, I'm going to say, I thought you were in your 20s, so you don't have to worry about that yet. But I'm looking at this. You've got this Instagram, like people are scrolling. I don't need to see the bottles, because if I know what they are, I probably already bought it, or I've already decided I don't want to buy it. How about you show me a picture? Because as I got into it, it was all for dry skin, right? It's the middle of winter. How about you show me dry, chapped skin, and then beautiful, luxurious hands, right? One or the other. And then you say to me with a question, are you tired of your skin feeling dry, chapped, and itchy all winter long? Does it sometimes feel like you've got reptile skin instead of human skin, right? Like questions like that. I'm now going to yes. All right, you've drawn me in. Then tell me what the problem is. The problem is your skin is not retaining moisture. Well, duh, but what do I do about it? Okay, then you say, this is how you're supposed to get moisture and how your skin will retain it. Oh, now how do I do that? Well, now that is exactly why we created this 3-product system. The first will put the moisture back in. The second will hold it and lock it in. The third will whatever, right?
Yeah.
There you go. There's the story. I have already told you I relate to that story.
Yeah.
Now, even if I had seen those products before and didn't buy them, I might say to myself, oh, I didn't know that's what they do. Maybe I'll take a second look.
Yeah. Maybe they actually solve a problem for me. Okay. Creating that curiosity, like, maybe I am. Especially on a platform like Instagram or Facebook. We say this all the time. Those ads are interruptive. So it's not something that we've intentionally gone out and searched, like on Google. If I'm looking for a skincare product and I search dry skin product, I'm going to get some answers. But if I'm scrolling my feed and I see a product, I'm like, okay, a product. But if I see, oh my God, dry skin, yeah, I have that. Maybe I am interested in that. And then I click through. You have to get my attention because those ads are interruptive and they're interrupting my scroll. So unless it's speaking directly to a problem that I'm currently having, I'm going to ignore it unless I'm seeking it out, which is a different place. That's on Google, right? Not on Instagram.
Not on Instagram. And you expect ads there. Exactly. They're right up at the top. So this is how being in alignment with ourself, what is our story? So in that case, if I'm, and it was interesting because it was a representative of a network marketing company. So if this person is sharing that story because they had dry skin, I would have loved to know, seen it, their hands. This is how my hands used to be. This is how they are now. Do you have hands that look like this too? Personal, human, real facts. I'm going to contact you and I'm going to ask you, how long did it take for you to shift? You know, is it one application or is it more? What did you try before? Like, let's have a conversation and I'll probably buy it from you.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Well, tell us, our time has already nearly come to an end. Thank you so much for being here, especially with your allergies going on and everything. Tell people, tell women that are listening to this podcast, how they can find you if they are looking for some, alignment with their sales, and maybe they're a little shy. They need to expand their capabilities, not necessarily step out of the comfort zone, but remain in their comfort zone and succeed in that. Yes. How can they get a hold of you?
Well, my website is really easy. All my social sites are there. So it's Stacey, STACEY, and ANN Hall, HALL.com, StaceyAnnHall.com. If you click on the courses page, my very first course is free. I have a lead magnet, but you'll also see the other courses that cost a bit. The go deeper, the first one is called 8 Steps to a Sale. And I really do show you how to start from the foundation, how to build on that, build on that, build on that, build on that, to a point where you can have a 15-minute call with anyone and get a yes to your offer. If you've built the process and connected the dots, you're on your way. You're good to go.
I love it. And we can pick up your book on
Amazon, on Kindle, on Audible, everywhere books are sold. It is in every bookstore around the world.
Awesome. And that is Selling from Your Comfort Zone. So check out our book. Go over to Stacey with the EY and Hall